Hi everybody, welcome to my Facebook page. This is Sichamba Jacob. Alright, so I've got this system of equations right over here, and we need to find or solve. Let me say find the value of x, y, and z. So we're going to solve this by row reduction. So if you've never had row reduction, please follow through so that you understand. So for row reduction, we need to make sure that this side of the equation, this side, x, y, and z, we have something that will look like this. Okay, you see, this is 1, 1, 1. Then here 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is how it's supposed to be, and we call this as the identity matrix, denoted using a letter I. Okay, so now let's form a matrix and try to reduce it in this form or to this form. So what we're going to do here will definitely be to get all the coefficients. Okay, so you can see what I'm getting and the answer. So I've gotten this, this, and this. The answer is right this other side. Here we have a 1, -5, -3, and a 9. We've got a 6, 1, -2, and a 25. So we put or form the matrix like that. So after forming this matrix, we are now going to write or to reduce it. Okay? So in reducing it, we first need to know that this direction, it's a row. So this is the first row, second row, and third row. Okay, let me write the arrows so that you know. Row 1, row 2, row 3. So these are rows. Okay, you can see that. I just want you to know the rows, and these are columns. Now for row reduction, we mostly rely on, let me just say we rely on rows. That's where the name row reduction comes from. So we're going to say, here, according to the matrix, the identity matrix I showed you, here, there must be a 1. So how can we write a 1 here? We're going to say -1 over, or -1, we put a negative here, over 2 multiplied by R1, row 1. So you see the way it looks. If I multiply this, where there is R here, I put -2 and multiply by this, I'm going to get a 1. So the way we do it, we say everything. Look at this. So this will be like this. Here we shall have a 1. Here we shall have 3 over 2. Here we shall have a -2. And the bar there, we shall have -13 over a 2. Okay? I hope you're able to follow, or you see what I've done. I'm just multiplying this by this, this by this by this there, and this by this. It's what we've gotten here. Next, you write, this row is not affected, just write it the way it looks, and this one also is not affected. We write it the way it looks. Okay? So this is what we have. The next thing now, this is step 1. Step 2, let me copy I put it here since I'm running out of space. Put it here and see what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to copy this and write it up here. Okay? So I'll write it up here. Okay, so this is how it looks. We have 1, 1, 6, 3 over 2, -5. We've got, did I write it? Okay, so here it's supposed to be like this. Sorry, I'm just copying. There is nothing like solving. So let me write it here so that we can have enough space. 1, 3 over 2, we've got negative 2, we've got a bar here, negative 13 over a 2, we've got a 1 here, a 5, actually negative 5, negative 3, 9, 6, 1, negative 2, 25, and a bar. Okay, so we are at this point. So the next thing here that we must do is to say here row or negative row 1 plus row 2. Remember, we've now achieved the 0 we wanted here, or we found the 0 we wanted. Now we're going to, the 1 we wanted. Now we're going to write a 0. We need a 0 at this point. So we're going to use this method. So row 1, negative row 1 plus row 2, it will give us, row 2, it will give us a 0 here. And this is what we are going to have. We shall have the first row is not affected. We just copy the way it looks. Okay, so this is how it looks. The first row, so negative 13 over a 2, then we close. The second row, it will have a 0 here. Okay, hopefully you're following. Here it will be negative 13 over 2, negative 1, and here it will be 31 over 13. Over 2, not 13, over 2. Then the third row, we just maintain it the way it looks. There is nothing to change. Okay, hopefully you understand what is happening. Negative this plus this, 0. Negative this plus this, it's this. Negative this plus this, it's negative 1. Negative this plus this, it's 31 over 2. So next, from this stage, we are going to make a 0 here. So we shall say negative 6 R1 plus R2. So this is giving us a 1, 3 over 2, negative 2, negative 13 over a 2. Okay, then here it will be a 0, negative 13 over 2, negative 1, 31 over 2. So here when we add negative 6 times 1 plus 6, it's giving us a 0. While here it's giving us negative 8, a 10, 64, like that. Okay, the next thing is to make a 0 at this point, or before you make a 0, to make a 1 at this point. Remember, there was 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So we need to make this one a 1. So this is how it will look like. We shall say 2, negative 2 over 13 times row 2. When we multiply this by this, it will give us a 1. Okay? And let me write what we're going to get. We shall have 1, 3 over 2, negative 2, negative 13 over 2, and here is 0. We have a 1 here. We have a 2 over 13. We have a negative 31 over 13. For the last row here, we just copy. It's not affected. It's 0, negative 8, 10, 64. The next thing here is now to say, to make a 0 here. So it will be 8R, okay, 8R2 plus R3. So this, of course, will give us a 1, 3 over 2, negative 2, and here we have a negative 13 over a 2, like that. Okay? Hopefully you're following. While the second one will also maintain, it's not affected. It's not affected. We just maintain. The third one, it's a 0 here. It will give us a 0 when you follow this process. When you follow here, it will give us a 146 over 13, and here when you follow, it will give us a 584 over 13, like that. Okay, so we are at this point. Let me just copy this part, and then we see we are almost concluding. So follow, we're almost concluding. So I need to copy this part. So I'll say equal to 1, 3 over 2, negative 2, negative 13 over 2. And then here, let me write it properly. Here we have 0, 1, 2 over 13, negative 31 over 13, 0, 0, 146 over 13, 5, 84 over 13. So this is the stage where we're at. Now we're going to say, since we want this to be equal to 1, okay, remember we want this part to be equal to 1, so we shall say 13 over 146 times row 3. So when we multiply by row 3, this is going to give us a 1, 3 over 2, negative 2, then negative 13 over 2. Here it will be a 0, 1, 2 over 13, negative 31 over 13. We have a 0, 0, 1. Here it will give us a 4. You see the way it looks? When we divide this or we multiply this by this, it will give us a 4. This by this, it will give us a 1. So since this is x, this is y, and this is z. So since z here, we have a 1, we can say z is equal to a 4. So the value of z is a 4. Okay? So we've gotten that. We can even forget about this row. We come to the next row. The next row, for 0, forget it, get a y. So say y plus 2 over 13z is equal to negative 31 over 13. So y plus 2 over 13 multiplied by a 4. Z is 4 is equal to negative 31 over 13. So when we solve here, we are getting 8 over 13 is equal to negative 31 over 13. Okay? So just to solve this side, this guy will come this side. So it will give us y is equal to 31. Let me cut 31. Negative 31 over 13 minus 8 over 13. Y is equal to 39, negative 39 over 13, which is equal to negative 3. So 13 into negative 39, it's a negative 3. So the value of y is equal to negative 3. We've got two values. We are remaining with it, the value of x. So for the value of x, we shall follow the first row. Okay? The first row. So we're going to say this is x plus 3 over 2y. This is 3 over 2y minus 2z is equal to negative 13 over a 2. So x plus 3 over 2, y is negative 3 minus 2, 4 there is equal to negative 13 over 2. X, okay, you can see that. You can see. So this will be equal to, this will give us negative 25 over a 2, if I'm not mistaken. So negative 1 over 2 plus 8 is giving us this is equal to negative 13 over 2. So when we work out this part, let me erase here. We are at this point where we have x minus 25 over 2 is equal to negative 13 over 2. So we now group the like terms. We've got x is equal to negative 13 over 2 plus 25 over a 2. So the value of x in this case will simply be equal to a 12 over 2, which is equal to a 6. So the value of x is equal to what? To 6. thank you so much. Hopefully you followed and you've enjoyed the video. Please remember to share. This has been Sichamba Jacob.